This is the Mio MiVue 765 DashCam. Here we have the new Mio MiVue. So new in from Mio is the MiVue 766 Wi-Fi. This is a dashboard camera that allows you to connect to via Wi-Fi and download your content to your phone and just generally take out the whole faff of having to remove the camera and the SD card if you need to get some footage off it or review some footage. So let's dig in and see what it looks like. So, inside the box, well, on the front of the box we have a picture. So, on the front of the box we have a picture of what to expect inside. It's got a Sony sensor, which is quite nice. It records in 1080p with 30 frames per second, has Wi-Fi, GPS, and a touch screen. Oh, I wonder what actual size this is. I'm quite excited now. I didn't realise it was a touch screen. That's kind of cool. Because usually they have pretty nasty little buttons on the side here that do different things whenever you click them, what you expect. Okay, so register your MiVue dashcam at mio.com. So there it is, set in lovely on the top, and it's not terribly large. It's quite a chunk maybe, but the unit itself is quite small. And it looks to be quite a nice design actually. We'll come back to that in a minute. What else is in the box? Well, we have a typical suction cup for your windscreen that clicks on thusly. The easiest way to connect it to your car, but some people don't like that sort of thing. We also have a SIN of a cigarette lighter charger that does not contain any USBs or anything on the back, so you can't daisy chain anything to it. It'll occupy your cigarette lighter and you can not use it for anything else. There's an LED there obviously to show that it's charging. You can just about see that. And then a fairly long cable that goes to mini USB. Okay, so someone's still utilizing mini USB, which is kind of nice. It has clamps on it, so for or making a connection. So hopefully it'll probably sit at that kind of angle, sticking out as opposed to being straight in. But yeah, every time I get a dashboard camera, I'm really annoyed to see that the cigarette lighter unit does not have any form of pass-through for other units, so you can't charge your phone off of it. Elsewhere inside we have register today, limited warranty, and a quick start guide. Very simple. So looking around the device, we have Mio with a large optics, which comes with a bit of plastic over to protect the lens. Looks to be a speaker there, maybe, yes, hopefully. Down there we have the serial number and some screws and a reset button. This side has an SD card and the power button. There's probably a photograph button as well, maybe. On the top we have the GPS logo plus the connector for the stand, and then over this side we have a 2.5mm headphone jack and the mini USB power connector. And then we pull that off and we have the screen, which we're probably not going to be able to get to work here because I don't have it. Mini USB. Different from the PlayStation. Okay, we have a little green light coming through there.
Welcome.
So we have Mio on screen. Okay, no SD card. Thankfully they did include an 8GB card, so that should do for a wee while. Oh yes, we're touchscreen, aren't we? So we press this to bring up the menu, and we have file playback, camera, Wi-Fi, record sound, drive safely, settings. We press that to go back to the camera. And that to go to something else. That changes as GPS not fixed. I'll turn it off and put in an SD card because I'm getting a bit sick of that error, to be honest. Okay, so we've input the micro SD cards. We're turn on the.
Welcome.
We'll turn it on, and hopefully we'll be able to see what happens on screen. Okay, so automatically it's jumped into starting to record. We have kilometers per hour at the bottom there. We have an exclamation mark, emergency recording. And take a picture. Pressing that just makes a bink noise. I don't know how to stop it from doing the emergency recording. Okay, save is complete. Please connect app to transfer automatically. We press this and we get up our menu. So we have file playback, camera, Wi-Fi, record sound, drive safely, and settings. So you can go back in and have a look at events, videos, parking, and photos. So it should hopefully be able to tell the difference between these. There we have a couple of right, so the sound did sound pretty ropey there. Right, okay. I'm guessing that the microphone isn't terribly good, but then that's not really what you're looking to record. It's not a sort of bugging device to catch people out in the car. It's more just to get the gist of what was happening on the way up. If you were talking on your phone or something like that, it would pick that up. So, we have camera. That takes us to the camera. That allows us to take pictures. It's 2 megapixel, it's showing there. Wi-Fi is for ad hoc, for connecting to the app. Record sound, we can turn on or off. We'll keep it on for the meantime, but I'll probably turn it off in the months to come. And calibration, lane departure warning system, FCWS, fried crab with salad. Headlight reminders, which is sometimes pretty handy. Fatigue alert, where if you've been driving for 3 hours, it'll try and wake you up with a wee bit of a, hey, you know you've been driving for more than 3 hours. Next, eco drive indicator and stop and go. What's stop and go? I don't know. Well, we'll have a look at that whenever we come to do the review. So there's no other extras or anything. Appears to be a capacitive screen, but there's no real settings for the actual camera, is there? Safety camera, video recording, video length, frequency, WDR, EVG sensor, stamps, speed. You can't really pick the quality, I'm not seeing. And we have satellites, date and time, welcome sound, which we can turn off because I hate it. System sound, that's that beep, it's alright. Volume, LCD standby, language, distance unit, we'll change that to miles an hour. Oh. Storage allocation, how you set up the 8 gigabytes that are in there. Parking is off, video is 5.6 gigabytes, events is 1.4 gigabytes, and photo is 72 megabytes. That sounds about right. Video output, NTSC or PAL, that's an odd addition. Restore to defaults and version number. I'm guessing that whenever you connect this to the app, it'll check your version number and download any particular updates or that sort of thing. Heading out into the icy tundra to evaluate whether or not the picture quality of this camera is any good brings about the fact that it has an auto activation, so if it detects something happening in front of it, then it'll start to record it. For example, here I have left the car parked outside a retail shop. Other cars are moving around and it's capturing it. Not necessarily because there's been any G-shocks or anything to activate it, just because it detects movement. Now, if you notice down at the bottom of the frame there is a flashing red light. That is my security system in the car. This unfortunately sets off the auto record, especially during the night. So in the morning you'll come out and the camera will be full because it's been recording all night. Thankfully, the battery does seem to last long enough to be able to record an entire evening's worth, and on an 8 gigabyte card, you'll probably get about an hour's worth of 1080p footage. The footage, as you can see, is hardly stellar, but it does the job very well. You can make out good details, for example, people's faces, number plates, and details on the road, all the important things that you're going to want whenever you're driving and in the event of an accident. Whilst the sky here is somewhat grey today and the blues are hardly shining through, you do get enough colour and detail, and if you look carefully at the Range Rover you can even see some steam coming off it as it's just pulled in. Bottom right corner shows some information about time and date and GPS location that may be relevant to any accidents that could happen. Underway, the camera does shout at you about various things, whether it be speed traps, traffic lights. However, I have turned off the likes of the lane departure warning system. And as we go through a fairly busy area in this retail park, you can see that there are some reflections on the windscreen, which are a little unfortunate. However, it's not struggling to pick up all the detail and information. And even the cars to the side, you can pick out their registration numbers if required. As I mentioned, this is a particularly grey day, so colours don't appear to be vibrant, but you can see oranges, reds and blues seeping in quite well, and the colour reproduction here is actually pretty good. Perhaps the messiest part of the picture here is actually the dirt on my windscreen, because this sort of weather gives you an awful lot of dirt on the windscreen, and that's showing up. However, it's not affecting the depth of field at all. Obviously, the focal point is actually on the cars that are out there. It has a good wide angle that it's picking up all of the information that you could possibly require and relaying it back with no jitters, bugs or any of that sort of thing. There has actually been a jump between two different clips, which was totally unnoticeable, which is always a good thing. So as we pull out into the traffic here, you got to see just how visible other cars are on the footage and their number plates as well. This time of year, most cars have a bit of grime all over them whenever they're travelling along carriageways and motorways and things like that. So you tend to get obscured number plates and, in some cases, snow all over the back of the car. So this is picking out the numbers quite well, and they're easy to make out. The other footage that needs to be looked at is night footage. And again, this camera does very well. You can see there is a reflection of one of the instruments in my car at the top of the frame, which is a red LED display, and that doesn't intrude too much, and there aren't too many other reflections, although they do pop up here and there depending on the position of the streetlight. However, this does not distract from the fact that most things are clear. Now we're driving along here at 8:15 or 8:10, and whilst the traffic isn't particularly busy with oncoming vehicles, the camera is able to pick up most information and the footage is incredibly smooth. The road surfacing here isn't the best. However, the camera is not suffering from many shakes and bumps, which is rather good. Taking the car up onto a main street with some oncoming traffic and things, you can see that the oncoming lights are not terribly blurry. There is a bit of distortion as it's wiggling past. However, the light does not dazzle the camera in any way, and it's able to maintain a steady focus as the headlights travel by.
As a dashboard camera, the Mio MiVue 765 does everything that you would need it to do, with a few added bonuses of the likes of a touchscreen and Wi-Fi. The picture quality, which is the most important thing here, does not dazzle, which isn't important. It does capture all of the relevant information that is required by insurance companies in the case of an accident. If necessary, it still is decent enough footage that you can film some fun footage, and it's a pleasant enough dashboard camera at a decent enough price, and there's links in the notes below of where to pick it up. So give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and other than that, take care.